Phatak Matria Medica. We will discuss the 28th episodes of Phatak Matria Medica live series. Our today's remedy is Argentum Metallicum. So on 28th episodes of Phatak Matria Medica live series, let us start studying the remedy or discussing decoding the remedy Argentum Metallicum. So it is a mineral remedy, heavy metal, processing through the potentization. Mainly sphere of action is nervous system, joints and cartilage, larynx and vocal apparatus, mucous membrane. Clinically, deep acting remedy, slow progressive remedy, cartilage degeneration, nervous exhaustion, chronic mucous membrane pathology. So, miasmatically, we can see that the psychosyphilitic influence, thickening, all level, and degeneration, destruction, and caries is the syphilitic. So, Dr. Phatak introduces the Argentum Metallicum is not a fleshy remedy. It is a slow, silent, deeply progressing pathological remedy. This patient does not come on dramatic complaints. Doctor, it has been slowly increased. I don't know when it comes and it will go into the bad. So typically the patient is tall, thin, irritable temperament, gradual loss of strength, progressive weakness in the nerves and joints. This is the degenerative remedy. Mainly joint problem, chronic joint problem, voice related complaint, especially of the teachers and singers, nervous system disturbances, long standing mucus issue. So, if you want to remember the Argentum Metallicum in one line, loss of control with gradual degeneration. So, there is slow collapse of the control, mind losses clarity, body losses coordination, and muscle losses power. So, emotional pattern of the Argentum Metallicum is patient feels internally unstable. There is restlessness, anxiety, but no expression. They don't want sympathy, they block it. Survival mechanism, keep moving, restless, avoids emotional connections, develops strange behavior and whims. Behavioral patterns, either talks excessively or avoids talking, changes topics frequently, does unusual and unexpected actions. It is like a system slowly losing their central command or control. So, mental emotional totality of the Argentum Metallicum is loss of mental power, forgetfulness, hasty and sometimes deceitful behavior, restless anxiety, moves from place to place, indifference to loved ones, strange whimsical behavior. Patient presents with a lot of confusion, cannot stick to the one topic, gives incomplete history, suddenly shifts the conversation. Since when it is when doctor asks when it is problem, yes actually I had something else also, or I don't remember the exactly. So patient cannot explain the things rightly. So important observation in these types of patients are time perception altered, time feels slow, avoid sympathy, does not want emotional support, inner restlessness, cannot sit in the one place. So it is not a highly emotional remedy, it is a mentally weakened remedy. So in physical general levels, thermally the patient have mixed modalities, aggravation from damp cold weather, aggravation from sun, aggravation in the in the entering into the rooms. So when we study the modalities of the Argentum Metallicum, the using voice, aggravation from using voice, speaking and singing, mental exertion, aggravation in the noon or 3 to 6 p.m., touch aggravation, pressure aggravates, riding in the carriage aggravates, sitting aggravates, stooping aggravates, and lying on the back aggravation. Better in the motion, coffee, and wrapping up. So motion ameliorates is the key differentiating feature of Argentum Metallicum. Energy pattern of the Argentum Metallicum is gradually weakness, feels tired and lies down, limbs feel powerless. This is not a sudden fatigue, it is a slow progressive exhaustion. Pains increases gradually, becomes violent and then suddenly disappears. Pains aggravation by touch associated with polyuria. In neuromuscular features, twitching without pain, electric shock sensation, cramps, loss of muscle control. This clearly shows the nervous system involvement. Secretions thick, grey, tenacious like boiled starch. So, this is the key features of Argentum Metallicum. Tissue affinity, as I have already discussed, is cartilage thickening, joint structures and larynx. Degeneration plus thickening, think of Argentum Metallicum. In particular characteristic symptoms, Argentum Metallicum does not isolated symptoms. It is about the pattern of slow degeneration with nervous involvement and thick secretion. In head symptoms, vertigo, especially while looking at the running water, on the entering into the warm room. Patient may say that when I see flowing water, I feel moving something or everything moving. Sensation of crawling in the head, emptiness, scalp is very tender to touch. So, this tenderness and nervous sensitivity is important. In eye symptoms, itching in the lids and corners, profuse purulent discharge, lacrimation duct is obstructed. So, in the chronic eye infection with thick discharge, sticky nature and eyelids and tarsi become thickened, again it is the thickened remedy. So, it is a very good remedy related to the Argentum nitricum in the conjunctivitis. In ear, intensity, scratching until it bleeds, nervous itching cannot control, keeps scratching. In nose symptoms, violent fluent coryza, frequent sneezing lead to exhaustion. Not just cold, but patient gets drained, nosebleed, while with tickling, aggravation from blowing the nose. In face symptom, pale, sallow face with weakness, sudden redness with heat, palpitation may accompany the flushing. Circulatory instability is present. In throat symptoms, very characteristic is raw sore feeling while swallowing, during expiration, while coughing. Patient describes as if something raw inside, thick mucus, grey, jelly-like, easily hot. So, boiled starch-like mucus in the throat, tension in the throat, aggravation while yawing, fauces feel numb. In stomach symptoms, burning sensation, rising upward to the chest, anxiety plus pressure in the epigastrium, appetite either increase or compressed, complete aversion. Alternating appetite is normal. Alternating appetite is important. Hiccup from smoking, nausea during dreams. This is a strange and confirmatory symptoms. Hiccup from smoking and nausea during dreams. In abdomen, loud croaking sounds with hunger. Patient feels hungry but abdomen is noisy. Soreness, aggravation during riding on the wheel, vomiting during stool. So, this indicates the reflux nervous disturbances. In urinary system, frequent and copious urination, often overlooked, but it is very important, like urine is sweet odor, like a way. Think of early diabetic tendency, swelling of ankle with polyuria. Strong indication of this remedy is chronic urethritis. In male symptoms, crushed pain in the right testicle, aggravation from clothing while walking, seminal emissions without sexual excitement, without erections. So, this indicates the sexual weakness, discharges yellow green. In female symptoms, pain in the left ovary feels left sided ovarian affections, ovary feels enlarged, uterine prolapse with pain in the back, extending towards the downward, cervix irrigated, spongy, leukorrhea, foul, bloody and excoriating. In respiratory system, hoarseness, aggravation from using voice, aphonia, especially singers and teachers, So, professional voice users losing voice, think of Argentum Metallicum. Larynx feels raw, sore, cough, aggravation from laughing, expectoration, grey, thick, jelly-like. In chest, weakness in the chest, teaches pain in the chest while talking or while reading aloud. Voice use aggravation confirms this remedy. Pain along the lower rib border. Heart sensation stops, trembles and throbs. Very peculiar sequence that palpitation is better by inspiration and better by lying on the left side. Pulse irregular and intermittent. Back, severe backache with walks bend, icy coldness sensation near the sacrum, extremities, weakness in the upper limb, legs trembling, aggravation descending the stair. Uh, Key symptom is the calves feel like short while going to the downstairs, swelling on the ankle, writer's cramp, skin, nervous itching, crawling sensation, electric shock when feeling the asleep, nausea in the dreams is the also characteristic symptom, fever, hectic fever at noon, sweat only on the chest and abdomen. So, when the thick grey mucus discharges, voice voice aggravation, gradual weakness, nervous symptoms, polyuria, cartilage and joint involvement. So, this remedy works in slow progressive degenerative state, especially where the nerves and cartilages and mucous membranes are involved. In nervous system disorder, we may think in epilepsy, post attack, delirious stage, patient may jump or strike others. Neuromuscular disorders like twitching, electric shock sensation with loss of control, peripheral neuropathy in early stage, writer's cramp, there is loss of coordination with general weakness. In joint and cartilages degenerative disorders, cartilage thickening, joint degeneration and ligament involvement. So, these are the characteristic symptoms of the Argentum Metallicum, and we have to differentiate Argentum Metallicum to many more remedies. So, let us compare. One of the closest remedy of the Argentum Metallicum is Argentum Nitricum. Both have silver remedies, both affect nerves and minds. Argentum Nitricum is impulsive, hurried and anxious, while Argentum Metallicum is slow and weakening, degenerative. In physical level, Argentum Nitricum has diarrhea, anticipatory anxiety, while Argentum Metallicum is voice problem with thick mucus. So, hurry, think of Nitricum Argentum, weakening, think of Argentum Metallicum. Argentum Nitricum runs and Argentum Metallicum slows down. Another remedy is Zincum Metallicum. Both have nervous exhaustion, twitching, but Zincum has suppressed eruption with nervous system. Argentum Metallicum has degeneration with nervous system. Zincum has restless feet. Argentum Metallicum has weak limb with powerless feeling. Restless leg, think of Zincum Metallicum. Weak control, think of Argentum Metallicum. So, zinc is restless, Argentum is powerless. Another remedy we must think of is causticum. Both have paralysis and voice issue. Causticum is sympathetic, emotional, while Argentum Nitricum is indifferent, blocks the sympathetic. In physical difference, causticum is progressive paralysis, while Argentum is weakness with degeneration. Emotional patient, think of causticum. Detached patient, think of argenticum. Causticum feels, Argentum Nitricum withdraws. Another remedy we must think of is phosphorus. So, phosphorus has weakness, nervous symptoms, but key difference with phosphorus is often affectionate, open person and fearful. Argentum Nitricum is close and indifferent. Phosphorus is burning, thirst for cold water. Argentum Nitricum is thick mucus with voice problem. Expressive is phosphorus, internal collapse is Argentum Nitricum. Phosphorus shines, Argentum Nitricum fades. Another remedy we must differentiate is the Calicarbonicum. So both have weakness and back pain, but Kalicarb has a rigid conservative personality. Argentum nitricum is unstable and whimsical behavior. Kalicarb has stitching pains, 3 am aggravation, constipation, backache, sweating, while Argentum nitricum is voice degeneration and thick mucus. So fixed personality Kalicarb, changing behavior Argentum nitricum. Kali is rigid, Argentum is unstable. Another remedy which is very close is Cephia. Both have indifference and female remedies. Cephia has hormonal indifference with aversion to family. Argentum nitricum has mental weakness with loss of control. Physical level, Cephia has bearing down sensation. Argentum has ovarian enlargement feeling. Hormonal issue, think of think of Sepia. Nervous degeneration, think of Argentum. Sepia is hormonal, Argentum is neurological. Another remedy is Sternum Metallicum. Both have weakness and chest involvement. Sternum has extreme weakness even from talking. Argentum nitricum voice aggravates with rawness. Sternum has better from pressure. Argentum has aggravation from touch. Sternum has more collapse, Argentum has most irritation. Another remedy is pulsatilla, which have thick discharges common. Pulsatilla is emotional, seeks company, Argentum avoids sympathy. Pulsatilla is better in the open air, Argentum nitricum is better by motion. Weeping patient, think of pulsatilla. Dehydrated patient, think of Argentum. Pulsatilla needs you, Argentum nitricum avoids you. So this is the remedy comparison. As Dr. Phatak compared the complementary remedies to the Argentum Metallicum is calcareca, pulsatilla, selenium, sepia, zincum and sternum. So let us understand the why often calcareca often complements Argentum in chronic degeneration. As calcarea, when to use calcarea after Argentum, patient start showing gaining weight, chilliness, sweating on the head, sluggish metabolism. This means that case is shifting towards calcarea constitution. When not to shift, voice symptoms prominent, thick grey mucus persistent, nervous weakness dominant. So Argentum metallicum has functional degenerative phase, calcarea has metabolic structural phase. So these are the some remedy relationship which will describe. Also, Dr. Phatak described the sequelae. Argentum nitricum very often comes so Argentum nitricum has gradual weakness. So summarizing the Argentum nitricum, gradual weakness with loss of control, mental and physical level, better by motion, aggravation by using the voice, slow progression. Area affection is mainly larynx, voice, joint, cartilage, nervous system, mucous membranes. Pain increase gradually, sudden stop, electric shocks at sleep, class feel short and while detailed, voice loss in speakers and singers. So in the potency selection, in the joint, especially in the knee joint, degenerative osteoarthritis of the knee joint, as a pathological remedy, I use the Argentum metallicum 6C 2 times a day for a long time. In all conditions with neurological diseases and voice, mainly 30 and 200 potency. So this is all about the Argentum metallicum, mainly voice complaint, nervous weakness and thick secretions, and gradual progression is the key and core action of the Argentum metallicum. So thank you for patience listening. We will join for next session with next remedy. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Good night.